26 is about the immune system part 2. So for those miss out the last week is part 1. In fact, every day will be different. Every week will be different topic. Yeah. So if you are miss out, you let us know. We have some recording. Meanwhile, we also share in the Facebook. So you can also invite your friend to watch again in the Facebook. So later on, Brian will put out this Facebook link, and also there is some Telegram link. Yeah. For you to get more information about these terahertz. Yeah. So first of all, we always must feel gratitude to the company, to this platform who provide us together to gain our health and also our wealth. In fact, this company, this device, terahertz water device, it was brought in by a person called George Neal. He's from Penang, and he's the first one who bring in from Shenzhen, because himself he use it and feel good, so he bring in. So we have to gratitude on this person who have a big vision about this device. And today, during the COVID season, you see there are many people, they are so serious. In Malaysia, a few thousands of cases every day. Same for Singapore around, it's also in a tight control. Now, this morning I heard from my friend from Melbourne. It's also in the lockdown now. So especially in India, it's so serious until these medical people feel very exhausted, not enough hospital. So try to imagine all this we can prevent, we can protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves. The immune system is the one that very important to protect you from all kind of the virus. Yeah. So yeah, and we very thankful to Dr. Prabhu. He's a medical doctor in epigenetic, specialized, and he's an ENT, ear, nose, and throat surgeon, and he's willing to spend his time to share with us his knowledge from medical point of view. Yeah, not only talk about this water and what about the brain and the lung, how this COVID happened, and how we can increase our immune system. So is Dr. Prabhu ready? So before that, I just ask for your permission. If you have any disturbance, please mute your mic and also your video if you are not in a proper attire. So when you share, yeah, you turn on your mic and your video so that we can see you. Without anything, then you just mute it. Then if you have something want to write down the important point, you can get a pen to take down the notes, or you can take picture of the slide. Yeah, it's okay. You can share, because the good things we have to share. Yeah. So I think Dr. Prabhu is ready. So without further delay, we just invite Dr. Prabhu on board. Yeah, now is 106 people. Yes. Dr. Prabhu, are you ready?
Yes,
because
I'm ready.
Your time,
I'm ready.
Yeah, because your time is precious. So I would like to let you start first. Then anything I can continue at the back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fantastic morning to every one of you. I think it's a long journey, and I think from November until now, it's almost 6 months. I have been working with all of you. It's an amazing journey. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And we are completing 26 episode and a part 2 immune system. In fact, today I wanted to complete the immune system, but the situation is today I couldn't complete the whole thing, and I thought it's quite a big. So now probably another part will be there, part 3 of immune system next week. And I managed to squeeze in, so hope I can give you all the information what you need. It's just basically you understand a little bit of our immune system. So don't go into the too much of details of our immune system. I'm just giving you the slides and all, just keep it in your frame of mind. But ultimately, It's your immune system you need to boost up. So what do we need to do? We need to work on it. As I told you last week, we have been bombarded with multiple targets of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and the bacteria are many. So we are not really looking into. But today, you and I we are forced to look into one particular organism, something called corona, and then we are just observing that, and our whole diversion of our mind is towards corona. No doubt, this one particular virus has really changed the way we are all working. But still, you and I are alive on this planet Earth. It's not just because there is something that it is happening inside your body, which you and I don't even know that there is something called an immune system which is protecting you. So if you're alive and you have not got this particular problem, that means you are safe. So it's good. But at the end of the day, you all need to understand you need to work towards your immune system. All these while we never thought of it. But today, let me tell you, you have to work on your immune system, because immune system is something which can not only help you to protect you from the external threats, it can actually protect you from internal threats. Internal threats means, I would say that it is something called autoimmune diseases. Today, there are a lot of autoimmune diseases varying from your thyroid to your colon problem. But at the end of the day, you need to know how you can balance your system. So saying so, let's go into how to protect ourselves. So a recap of last week is your immune system needs to be optimized. Okay, optimized means there is an existing system, and what you need to do is just push it up a little bit with your whatever you're doing. Just change the way you are doing things and then make it better. That is what is called optimization. So you want to do that. The first thing you need to do is change your mindset. Do not talk about a situation which doesn't make you happy. This is very important. If it doesn't make you happy, why are you looking into it? Why are you working on it? Why are you receiving those kind of information? And for your kind information, I don't go into the WhatsApp to see you, especially if it is something to do. I don't go and read, because it's the same everywhere. It is getting circulated. But at the end of the day, can you feel happy about it? No. So what you need to do is you receive the information and then you interact. Now, what is the meaning of interaction is, what are you trying to do? Most of us, what we are trying to do is thinking that we are doing some great job and some great service to humanity. We just go on forwarding the messages. By forwarding the messages, what are you doing? Did you go and confirm whether the information is correct or not? We do not know. You know what? The first information, there are a lot of things you need to work from your gut feeling, your internal connectivity to the cosmic. You will get a lot of information. So you need to be calm for that. If you are in an unhappy mood, if you are in an aggressive mood, if you are in a sad mood, definitely you cannot connect to the universe, and then you will not be able to download the important information. Now, at the end of the day, what you need to do, number one is your mindset. Number two, how you're interacting with the universe. Number three is your food habits and nutrition. Why not in this situation? Go for more of vegetarian diet. Go for more of fruits and vegetables. Drink a sufficient amount of water and reduce the amount of meat, especially meat. Why I'm specifically telling you is, now you know pretty well that because of the COVID situation, the market is slightly slowed down. So just imagine you want to buy fresh meat also. It's little difficult, number one. Number two is, even if by chance the vendor has already got your meat, how many days it is, we do not know. And what's happening to the whatever meat you are procuring, whether it's a sheep or a chicken or whatever it is, we do not know what is the source and how long it has been. So the longer it is kept in the refrigerator, the more problem we are going to face. It needs to be fresh. So in that way, why not look at something wherein we need to live on this planet Earth. Just consume a lot of vegetarian diet and reduce the amount of non-vegetarian, so that it helps your immune system to boost up a little bit in this time of challenges. Now, other than that, you need to keep your gut health very, very important. So keeping your gut health, you need to consume a little more of yogurt related. But let me tell you, if you want to buy a yogurt, ready-made yogurt, they of course use a lot of preservative. So there also, if you can prepare the yogurt, it will be very, very important. Other than that, appropriate regular detox plays a very, very important role in your immune system, because if there is a lot of poison in your body, how your body going to protect yourself? It's already flooded with poison. And it's like, a dustbin which is smelling bad. And if you are trying to keep the dustbin without throwing it out and trying to put a perfume on it, what will happen? The perfume will be there smelling good for some time, but once again, the old junk which is already there, it's going to back to the bad smell will come. So in that way, in our system also, you need to know when to, and regular detox plays a, and regular detox means, what I would say is very simple. If you can go for fasting, see, this I'm telling people who consider themselves as healthy. But if you're a diabetic, if you have multiple heart related problem, or please see how your body can cope in situations of doing a fasting. So that is up to you. You have to decide how you want to. Do not think that, hey, Dr. Prabhu told to do the fasting, so I also want to do. I do agree with you that you also would like to, but see how your body will balance itself, if at all, if it comes up to fasting. And many of you will agree with me that as long as you have been eating 3 meals a day continuously for the past so many years, and suddenly you want to go for a fasting, your body is not able to accommodate to it. So in that way, please do it in a slow manner so that you are able to accommodate. Your body has to accommodate. So please look into that and then start moving forward. Now, in our body, we all started from a stem cell. Even as you and me, such a huge physical body we have, it all started with the stem cells. Now, initially, there is something called embryonic stem cells, which is there from the fetus part. But there are something called precursors stem cells also, which are much more beneficial for you and me. Now, coming back to our stem cells, if you are talking about our immune system, there is something called white blood cells. They are like our protective defense, like Army, Navy, and Air Force. They are the one which will protect you from the external threats. Now, if you look at the WBCs, there are few other, you can call it as a family of white cells. So what they are all is something called phagocytes, monocytes, macrophages, neutrophils. That in turn will have something called eosinophils. Now these are all, if you do a blood test, you will see they would have written monocytes so many, macrophage, your neutrophils are so many, eosinophils are. Now depending on this, the doctor will decide, okay, whether you have an allergic manifestation or if your WBC's total count is high, they know you are with an infection. Now, there is something when we go a little deeper into as I told you before, that our lymphoid system or something which actually filters the bacteria and the viruses and then prevent it from going further. Now, this is where, if you see, if one cancer cell is already existing and it is trying to, do something, it wants to travel to another place. While it is traveling down, there is something called a lymphoid. It's like a checkpost, The lymphoid will, once the cell, your cancer cell goes down there, the lymph node will block there and say, where are you going? Maybe the cancer cells will say, no, I want to go to this place, maybe the liver, lung, or your bone. But your lymph node will say, sorry, I don't think you can go there. You better stop here. So what happens is, when there are few cancer cells already sitting in that particular lymph node, it becomes, your lymph node also will not be, it's like a junction box, totally corrupted. So what happens? The lymph node starts becoming big. This is where many of you would have noticed that, the simple example I can give you is breast cancer, and you see your axilla here, there might be lymph nodes. The moment the doctor feels the lymph node, they know that it is something to do with cancer. Even in your neck, if you see some, swellings, that means the filtration system, your own defense system is trying to do something and, protect you from the external threat or the internal threat, which is, we call it as cancer cells from inside it growing. Now, these lymphocytes, there are two types. One is the B cells and one is the T cells. There are two cells. That is, just remember, there are two cells we have protecting us. Now, if you look at the B cells, once again, they produce a specific antibodies. If you really look at what kind of specific antibody, they have one specific bullet, something like a gun and a bullet. They will produce only one bullet at a time. Okay. Unless you're talking about a machine gun. But in our body, what will happen is there will be many B cells producing specific antibodies, so that in a given time, they all will go and attack the the external threat. It could be a bacteria or a virus. Now, in turn, what are happening is these antibodies are all something called a large protein. See, everything ultimately will be called something called protein. It will be a bigger protein or a smaller protein. Now, these antibodies are something which is produced in our own body to protect us from the external threat. And these are all known as immunoglobulin. Now, this one you would have seen wherein, you know, IgG, when the doctor does a test, they will say your IgG is high, you know, in that they will look into whether your IgM is high or IgE is high. We'll go very specifically to see what exactly. So immunoglobulins are something which is produced from an antibody to protect you from the external threat. Now, what exactly is IgA? Just remember IgA. A is something which will be there in your tears, in your salivary secretion, in your respiratory, and in your gastrointestinal. These are the 4 areas, very simple. They are exposed to the external, wherein it guards your entrance. So IgA is guarding the entrance. But most of us, you and me, or we would have learned that we don't go and specifically measure the IgA, but we will be measuring something called IgM, okay, and IgE. Now, IgM is something which is always in your bloodstream, you know, targeting the bacteria. So if your IgM is very high, that means to say that you are going through an infection and your body is trying to protect you. Very simple. If your IgM is high, it is something wherein you should know that your body is fighting it. Very simple. Okay. Now, when your body is fighting, there will be the antibodies, something called IgM will be very high. Now, when you're looking at the T cells, what is happening is it is going to, there is something called T cells also, wherein it is going to contribute to the immune system. Now, there are 2 ways it can work. Now, the T cells will either regulate your immune system, or it will produce something called cytotoxic. Means toxic is basically to kill something, right? Cyto is cell. So there is something which will produce a chemical. What will happen is the moment an infected cell, for example, there's one cell and a bacteria is there or a virus is there inside, and the virus has taken over the cell. So it will kill the cell, right? And the bacteria or the virus will start living there. Now, what will happen is the moment T cells are released, it will go attached to that particular cell and then release the cytotoxic chemicals and thereby destroy them. Can you believe this particular system is happening in your body, in and out, every second? Some cell somewhere is fighting against something. Some cell is fighting. So without you and me knowing, our body is so beautifully protecting us. Now, in this way, how many of you down here are thankful to this beautiful body, the beautiful organs you have? Everything is doing their job. All right, without even taking permission from you. They are not taking any money from you for doing their job. Now, this is an amazing mechanism of our human system, wherein you should be so thankful to your own body before you even talk about other outside viruses. The number is increasing. Whatever you talk, there is something in your body which is actually helping you. Now, there are some situation in the same cells. You would have noticed, like people go for a kidney transplant or a cornea transplant or any transplant, and your body can reject it. Now, why the body rejects it is it sees that there is something not okay. So the moment the body feels it's not okay, the body will release all these cytotoxic chemicals and totally reject the whatever transplant you have done. Now, when you go a little more detail, now you would be hearing this from a lot of WhatsApp messages where they talk about cytokinins, you know, cytokine storm, they will say. That means your body is in a full-blown, full of armies out there releasing this chemical messengers. These are all chemical messengers, you know. What do they will go bombard, they will go try to protect you from these external threats. And cytokinins are also called interleukins. It's a two name where either it is interleukins or cytokinins. Now, what you need to understand is cytokinins are nothing but a chemical messenger inside your body trying to protect you, right? Now, there is something called natural killer cells. Natural killer cells, which is already there, what it does is it will recognize a specific antigen. Now, if you look at the antigen, basically it is produced by a specific foreign body, and your body will recognize this particular antigen, and automatically, this is where you would know, you will see that now in Corona, they will be doing an antigen test first, and then the virus test, PCR test, right? Now, if you're looking at the antigen, we know that the specific antigen, there is something called, with the corona related, the antigens are many in your body, right? Now, the moment antigens are there, our body will produce antibodies. That means oppose it and then try to neutralize it. So what this natural killer cells also will do is they also will target and deliver the lethal chemicals to destroy the cell infected with the viruses, bacteria, or cancer. Now, this is where I wanted to just share this information. There is something called transfer factor, which is a protein molecule which can be extracted from the milk colostrum and the egg yolk. Now, what this particular protein molecule, when you consume this transfer factor molecules in the form of capsules, or we have the injectable forms, what will happen is these guys will go just increase the natural killer cells. Naturally, already the killer cells are there, but this is going to enhance your body to produce more natural. So the natural killer cells, what will happen is it will go and attack the bacteria, including the, now this is where there are a lot of, there are companies where they are selling this particular product, and then what is happening is people with cancer, they might be consuming this product. But if you give to around 10 people of having cancer, the same transfer factor you give, all the 10 will not respond in the same way. 2 people might die, 2 people might respond very well, and then they will recover from cancer. But there are other 8 people who would be benefited, but from a different angle, because natural killer cells, to an extent only, they can go and protect your immune system, and it will protect you from the external threat. So you need to understand that it is not just one natural killer cell, it is not just one T cell, it is not just one particular, maybe the cytokine little bit. No, it is a wholesome package in our body, needs to be strong enough for us to face any threat. It is like, you know, you want Malaysia to be protected from any other external threat. Our Army, Navy, and Air Force should be so strong that even the external threat coming, we should be able to protect ourselves. For example, if the external threat, there are around 2,000 soldiers there, and if you have only 1,000 soldiers, how are you going to fight the 2,000 soldiers? But if you're talking about our immune system, it is a package wherein you need to work on right from your mindset to your food to your detox. It's very, very important. It is a package. So do not please think that I change my mindset, doctor, so after that my immune system is going to boost up. No, it doesn't work that way. It is one of the ingredients. So what you need to do is you need to become very positive. So coming back to your natural killer cells, it does its job. So without even, you don't even know that there is something called natural killer cells in your own body, which are, why it is called killer cells, because they will go, they'll go bombard the external threat like the bacteria, viruses, or even the cancer cells. It will go and attack them and clear them. This is a body mechanism. So what is happening is, now coming back to the situation here, with all these immune system situation we are talking about, what we need to understand is water plays a very, very important role in our day-to-day life. Now, if you're looking at water, many of us don't understand that what is the kind of water you're going to drink. You know, how much of water are you drinking? There is a lot of confusion out there, especially when it comes up to the amount of water you need to drink. If you're a healthy individual, what you need to understand is you need to drink water. How do you calculate your water? Number one, your weight. If, for example, if you're around 50 kgs, okay, if you're a 50 kgs weight person, you just multiply that with 42. Very simple. 42 into 50. So what will happen is you will get exactly the amount of liters. So it will vary from 2.5 liters to 3 liters. But if you're on an overweight side, maybe 100 kgs, so automatically if you're talking about 100 kg weight, and you're talking about 42, it will be 4 liters, and 200 ml will be the required amount of water you're going to drink. Now, why is it so important is because if you have sufficient amount of water in your body can actually do a lot of things. Very simple explanation I can give you is, if sufficient amount of water is there, the oxygen carrying capacity can be more easier for your body to carry on the oxygen in the water. So it becomes more easier. Other than that, if you look at our hemoglobin, we call it as HB in our blood testing, if your hemoglobin is low, what will happen is automatically your oxygen carrying capacity will be less. This you would have seen. One of the best example I can give you is a person with kidney issues or a kidney problem. Their hemoglobin will start going down very fast. When the hemoglobin is going down very fast, the oxygen carrying capacity in your blood will be low. So what happens? They will feel very tired. When they are walking a little distance, they feel very tired. So there are a lot of other reasons for becoming tired, but one of the reasons I would say is your oxygen carrying capacity in your blood is low. That is where you need to once again optimize your hemoglobin, so that if your hemoglobin is around 10 plus, it's good enough. But if it is 15 plus, it's fantastic. That means your oxygen, the more oxygen you have in your body, the more beneficial good benefits for you in your journey of life. Now, water is needed for every living, whether you like it or not. Water is a necessity. The moment sufficient water is given to the particular, it starts just like a plant. What do you do when you water the plant? It starts growing. The same way, you need to understand that for a cell to do its job, it needs sufficient amount of water. Now, for example, you drink less water. If less water, what happens? Automatically your hydration will be low. If your hydration is low, automatically your system can't work with the low water. So if the system cannot work, how do you expect you or your body to protect you from the external threat? And I see in my clinic most of the time, if I ask them how much of water you drink, they will be telling 1.5 to 2 liters of water. It's quite low. And you see the temperature outside, it's quite humid. So that means your body needs more water so that it helps you. And one of the reasons most of the people will give is, doctor, if I drink water, I have to go to the loo very frequently. So that is why I don't drink water. Yeah, I agreed with you. And especially if you are a person working in an aircon atmosphere, your amount of water. Now, all well said and done, you are in an aircon atmosphere, it's good. Who asked you to go into an aircon atmosphere? Did the body tell you, please be in the aircon atmosphere? No, right? It's you who choose because you want to be in a very cold atmosphere because the external temperature is very high. But the disadvantage of sitting in an aircon is definitely your whole blood vessels are all spasmed, and then of course the blood flow will be low, and definitely your amount of drinking water will automatically less because you don't feel thirsty. Now, if you are going to be in an aircon atmosphere for a very, very long time, what will happen? You will start facing situation which you and I cannot explain. Nobody can explain you why did you get that disease. But one of the reasons can be less water. So dehydration plays a very, very important role in today's life. And we all just ignore this little thing of drinking water. But at the end of the day, when the disease comes in, we are only concentrating on the disease part and then thinking that we have to go and clear the disease. But start with the drinking amount of water, the right amount of water, your food habits. Now, there's another issue which I am seeing in my practice is too much of toxins. Every other person I see, they will have a lead toxin or the mercury, the cadmium, aluminum toxicity, arsenic toxicity. Now, these are heavy metals. These are all called heavy metals. Why it's called heavy metals? The moment it enters into your cells, it will start sticking onto it. And then, of course, from there to remove them, it's very, very difficult. And one of the major disadvantages, especially if you're having a filling of mercury in your teeth, that is another disadvantage for most of us because mercury from there is released so slowly that you won't even know that it is being released. And at the end of the day, it gets dislodged and then goes and gets logged into your brain cells. If your brain cells automatically, you can have Alzheimer's, you can have Parkinson's, you can have dementia, you can have forgetfulness, all these will be there. But the moment you have all these symptoms and when you go to a hospital, we are trained to see for the diseases. So what will happen? Of course, we will look for a particular disease to fit into whatever you're telling, the symptoms. So the moment you tell us the symptoms, we know, okay, fine, this would be the problem. So what we do is we will treat your symptoms. So when you're treating the symptom, what is the root cause? The root cause is your mercury. It could be the lead. It could be the poisoning inside your body. Now, slowly what will happen is we need to understand that if we can do the detoxification by removal of these toxins slowly and steadily, there are methods, and you can approach your doctors to assist you on this particular area of detox. And one of the most simplest way of detox is be on a fruit detox. You know, your bowel movements has to be very regular. Sufficient amount of water plays a very important. I have to repeat this time and again because water plays a very, very important role in your keeping your immune system strong enough for you to face the external threats. Okay, now coming back to your this one, once again, you all know that why should you drink water? You need to drink water for what? Is it for a disease purpose, or is it for a curing purpose, or is it for living on this planet Earth? I would say for us to live on this planet Earth, we need to drink water for what? Number one, we need to have a good hydration, we need to have a proper metabolic function, we need to have a proper detoxification, proper transport of oxygen, and proper picking up of nutrients from the food we eat, and proper bowel movements. Just imagine you don't drink water for 2 days. You will not be able to pass bowel movements very easily because there is no lubrication. And here I would say that the terahertz water where a lot of people you have been drinking, and then the information what they have been sharing is, doctor, after drinking this water, my bowel movements are better. And there are a lot of people initially, first time when they start drinking water, in the first 1 week, a lot of people came back and told, doctor, a lot of black stools are coming out, a lot of green color things are coming out. That means there's a lot. And even some people would have told me that they feel a lot of bloating sensation. Why you get a bloating sensation is, number one, there are a lot of bad bacteria inside your stomach. Naturally, we do have bacteria in there. So we have to see the good guys and the bad guys. If the bad guys are too many, what will happen in your area of Taman, wherever you are living? If too many bad guys are there, what will happen? The whole Taman will become so it becomes so chaotic that every in and out you will lose your peace of mind. In the same way, if your gut system has got too much of bad bacteria, the bad bacteria are very happy, they are not bothered whether you are going to be happy or not. They will do their job, and they are doing their job perfectly in such a manner that they create a problem for you. Have you seen this? Many a times, this is we see in our human beings, where when you look at the people, there are a lot of people out there, they are just to out there to cause trouble to the situation down there, and they cause not only trouble for themselves, they cause trouble to the other people. In the same way, your gut system also, what will happen if the bad bacteria guys are too many? Automatically, one of the main problem you will face is your bowel habits. Number two, your immune system will go down. If the bad bacteria is high, your immune system goes down. If your immune system goes down, what happens? Your external threat, viruses, bacteria, they can come inside comfortably. All right. Now, other than that, what will happen is, if your bad bacteria is very high, what you need to do is, number one, of course, there are ways we control your bad bacteria. Sometimes we might have to give you some antibiotics to clear. Sometimes we might give you antifungal. Now, how many of you know that you are supposed to deworm every 6 months, especially if you are eating non-vegetarian? How many of you know this? I have seen a lot of adults coming to my place, and then I would ask them, have you dewormed yourself? No. But the beauty is, these parasites, you won't even recognize that they are there in your body, because there is no way you can see them, because they are all grown up children. They will be very happily sitting inside your gut system. And the only way we pick it up is we do the hair analysis, wherein we pick your 3 strands of hair, and when we scan it, it picks up the vibration, the vibration of the parasites, and it will give us a message in our report saying that there are bacteria, parasites, or fungus, or whatever is the situation down there, it will tell us. So that means to say, and in my practice, I have seen a lot of people, when I do the hair testing, they will invariably have parasites in their system. But I ask them, do you have any symptoms? They say no. But the symptom is something like they might have a little bit of bloating sensation. They might have tiredness. Why the tiredness is because when you eat your food, for example, the B complex, okay, it's a green leaves you're eating, and a lot of B complex needs to be absorbed. Now, when the B complex goes inside there into your system, these parasites are sitting there only, right? You think they'll keep quiet? They will start taking up the vitamins, and they'll be more healthier than you. But you will be thinking, I'm taking vitamin B complex, but why am I not? And when you come to us, when we see there will be a deficiency. Now, why is the deficiency? It's because these guys, the bad guys, are comfortably enjoying whatever nutrients you are giving without your knowledge. They are happy there. So you need to deworm at least 6 months once, one time. Please do it so that you keep your gut system more healthier. Okay. Now, other than that, you need to know, avoid things which are actually creating more bacteria. So what you need to do, especially if a person, but today if you see the grab, especially the food grab situation is very high. Food panda is very high. Now, do you really trust these guys, the way they prepare the food, and then they come and deliver? Of course, it's very easy. One phone call in the app, they will be able to send you what you want. It's good, but my question is, how safe is it? How clean is it? How food handling plays a very, very important role in your health, especially immune system. But at the end of the day, what will happen is, for 20 years, you're going to eat your food outside. And when you're 50 years, when the disease comes in, what are you going to do? Are you going to go back the 20 years and say, hey, because I was eating the food outside today, I'm facing this? But let me tell you, if there is a possibility for you to prepare your own self fresh food and then eat it, even refrigerating the food, I won't advise. If possible, please prepare fresh every day. I remember all our ancestors, our grandfathers, from grandmothers, they all used to eat fresh food. Even the afternoon food will be very fresh. Even the evening food will be very fresh because they will prepare it. But today, of course, we are all working, husband working, wife working. Of course, there is no time for us. But still, I would request you, if possible, prepare fresh and eat. If not possible, it's still okay. Prepare, keep it in the fridge for maximum of 1 or 2 days, and then you can eat. Because this is for convenience sake, I'm giving that flexibility. It's still okay because I do understand you are very busy. But at the end of the day, you please question yourself: for whose sake are you working? For whose sake are you earning this money? For what? When this particular physical body is flooded with all the toxins, all the bacteria, everything with cancer cells, everything is there inside your body. And at the age of 50 plus years, and you are bombarded with diseases, what do you want to do? Are you happy having a disease in your body? No, isn't it? So you need to understand that your bowel gut needs to be healthy. Very, very important. Now, other than that, of course, your water drinking plays a very important role in your kidney function, your electrolyte. But you need to maintain a healthy system. So once again, I would definitely let you know that drinking water adequately definitely will help you to boost your immune system and keep you healthy. Now, ideal drinking water, every time I've been repeating it, it must assist your body to do its function in a normal way. It can be any water, filtered water, but it should assist you. It must be clean, drinkable with appropriate minerals and trace elements. See here, very important. Your water must have small trace elements and it should have the minerals in it. Now, this is where it plays a very important role, because especially function of like small, a little copper in your water. Copper plays a very important role in your body mechanism, especially in the cellular level. But of course, you and I don't even look into, or we don't even know how many nutrients we need. You all need a minimum of 92 nutrients every day for your good cell metabolism. You need 92. So what food are you eating? How much of vitamins are you being absorbed? How much of nutrients are being absorbed? We do not know. Everything your body does it automatically. So what you need to understand is, by drinking water, it must be sufficient enough to do its job. Correct or not? You have two vessels and you give half glass of water and tell your servant to clean your vessel. Is it possible? They'll say half glass of water cannot clean. So definitely we need to give at least a half a bucket of water so that they're able to clean. Same way, your body needs sufficient amount of water for it to function to its optimal level. Very simple. So in that way, how much of water, doctor, should I drink? Ideally 2.5 to 3 liters. This is only for normal people. People with cardiac, people with lung diseases, people with kidney diseases, sorry. You need to go according to the doctor's guidelines and then see how your body is requiring the amount of water and balance yourself. So this is where one of the most beautiful system we have with terahertz resonated water is, you can bathe with water. You don't need to drink. So for such of those who are all there cannot drink too much of water, no issues. Why can't you do a bathing with a terahertz water? At least it will get absorbed. and the cells outside can be helped. So there is no direct implication of the water going inside your kidneys so that it doesn't burden your kidney. So we need to look at alternative methods for sufficiently giving our body the required amount of water. So in that way, please do hydrate yourself by drinking the ideal amount of drinking water so that you can actually live in this pandemic of corona little safe, and you are helping your body to do its job on its own. The body will do its job on its own. Only thing, you need to assist your body. Saying so, what happens? Today, we all know that there are different kinds. Even yesterday, I was speaking to a person, he was talking about hydrogen water. There's a lot of information he shared with me. So that's what I told him. Ultimately, what will happen is whether you're drinking ionized water, whether you're drinking your hydrogen water, whether you're drinking resonated water, which is from terahertz technology, or you're not doing anything but just, chanting some mantras from your own faith and belief system, or maybe you're just drinking a natural waterfall. It doesn't matter, as long as your aim is you want to help your body in whatever little ways you want to help. It is definitely a good approach, but you have to go through all the required situations of a particular water. Whoever is talking to you about a particular mechanism of water, please go back and see, does your body need that? So I was asking the particular person, if hydrogen water is so good, how about our ancestors? Were they drinking the hydrogen water? I don't think so. They were drinking the hydrogen water. It was a normal well water. It was from the river water, but they were all very healthy. But today what is happening is, definitely there are a lot of advantages. So here in our terahertz resonated water is, when you look at the qualities of the water, there are a lot of positive benefits we can get out of it. But when you compare that with other products in the market, it might be more or less the same, or it might be lesser than this, or it might be better than this. I wouldn't know. But at the end of the day, your body needs a sufficient amount of water with right properties so that your body can do its function. See, ultimately, your body has to do its function. So you need to give water in that way. So terahertz, in the past 6 months, what I notice is there are a lot of good benefits it's been giving to a lot of people, and that itself is good enough that people can consume this water so that it helps the body. So ultimately, our aim, help your body. Now, in that way, what is so big a deal about it is, number one of the thing I liked about this particular technology is it's easy, portable, and you can use a power bank in this situation. For you don't need a plug point. You just need a power bank and you can resonate the water, and it does it in 3 minutes. That's the most beautiful thing, wherein you can get the water resonated in 3 minutes. So it's an advantage for us in the time constraint situation. But most of us are all working from home today, and of course, if you're looking at that, this has been a tool for us, and then there's a lot of good benefits. So look into it. Now, what are the main benefits of drinking the resonated, especially the terahertz resonated water? You see, this is something today morning I noticed. There are a lot of unseen benefits which cannot be explained. Even in fact, yesterday, I think today morning, I just saw one lady. For 1 month, she has been drinking the water and she was not able to walk. And there is a photograph and the video of this particular person today walking. Now, the question is, of course, she assisted her body with the terahertz water for the past 1 month. But what has happened? Who is the beneficiary? The beneficiary is your body. The body, what it did is, it picked up the situation of that particular water qualities and then started giving the benefits in the form of, number one, I may think that it's the high energy. The water gives a very beautiful high energy to you. So your cellular not only gets hydrated, it gets the positive high energy. Now, this is an experiment they have already shown, and they call it as a fourth phase of water. And Dr. Gunbo from Singapore very beautifully showed that particular video, wherein when you put the fourth phase of water, which is a high energy water, the moment you put that, all the organisms, all the toxic things, they all go away from the water situation. So here, this particular fourth phase of water is used for so many benefits. So I believe that this is the same function which is been doing, and thereby helping your body to move forward. Now, you may feel more energetic. It's good enough if you're feeling more, and especially when you spray on your face, you will definitely feel refreshed. Now, when this is happening, that means the water molecule, there is something, it's going and creating a positive vibration inside your body and you feel fresh. So it's good for you. And other than that, if your cell gets hydrated and do their work appropriately, don't you think it's a beautiful situation? And this is what a lot of people are getting benefited by drinking the terahertz water, is because there is something happening inside your body. You should thank your body for doing this wonderful job of picking up the water. And now, of course, if you say, is it just the water alone which is helping the person? No, the person is actually consuming his food, nutrients, and probably the person is very positive. A lot of benefits they are getting. So it is good. But at the end of the day, when you see a flushing of toxins happens when you're drinking this Terra's resonated water, which is also another advantage, whether you like it or not, when all the unfavorable toxins are being removed for your cell and then thrown out, your body starts functioning beautiful. And the most beautiful information I would like to share here is your stem cell production is enhanced, because when the toxins are removed out, automatically your stem cells or the cells, even a normal cell, they feel very happy because the bad guys are not there. If the bad guys are not there, after the good guys feel very happy, isn't it? So if I'm talking about toxins, let's assume they're all bad guys. If the bad guys are sitting there, your normal cell cannot be happy. So what happens when this water you drink, it goes and removes all the toxins slowly and steadily. The toxins are removed, your normal cells become happy. When the normal cells become happy, the normal cells will do all the function which it should do normally. It will do the job. It can be from protecting you from the viruses. It can be to pick up the nutrients. It can be to stay stronger. Anything can be done provided your cell is healthy and happy. And it is a balance, basically a balance between the good and the bad. But if you have, in general, if I tell you 70% of your body, if you can keep it healthy, just like 70% of the body contains water, same way, if you can have 70% of the system to be appropriately functioning, your factory will run. It's something like that, wherein the 30% of here and there, it's still manageable. But at the end of the day, if you're going to push your system to 90% fantastic, 90% healthier, you think the body will be able to do everything? It will do every fantastic thing to make you healthy. You'll be running around. You'll be even, in fact, going towards a patient who is corona also, nothing will happen, because your body is very, very protective. It knows what to do. If by chance the corona comes in also, it will just throw him out immediately. It won't even give you symptoms. And in here, I would say that there are a lot of human beings who would have been exposed to corona, but they don't have any symptoms. There are a lot of doctors who are working in and out. Today we need to salute a lot of situation where, like, doctors, police officers, a lot of other people working in the hospital, they are all doing a great job in, especially in this COVID situation, doing their job, and they are not getting infected. But there are a lot of other sad newses where doctors are dying, nurses are dying. It's a situation there. But for you and me, we are alive. Let's walk this journey more beautifully. Now, the most beautiful information is, if you, by drinking this water, you get the benefit for a disease you have. It can be a diabetes getting beneficial. Good, isn't it? But many times a disease, whether knowingly or unknowingly, it is there inside your body. Only thing is, it's get activated. How it gets activated, as I told you before, the same bad guy stories. The bad guys come in, they will start doing their job. Your cell don't know what to do. The cell, what it will do, transform into a disease cell. That's it. Very simple. So now, whether it has happened wherein you got the benefit, so enjoy the benefit. But the same benefit, if you're going to give for 100 people and all the 100 will not get the benefit, maybe one or two will not even get the benefit. For example, 100 people drinking terahertz water, 2 people may not even find any benefit. They'll say nothing happened. This I have seen in my practice. Nothing happens. It's okay. Maybe for them, they are more used to the normal water, whatever they are. So let them be, so be it. Now, the properties, as I have been repeatedly telling, there are 12 beautiful properties, right from antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant, anti-radiation. The molecular size of our water molecules smaller, angulation, low viscosity, then linear arrangement. And then, of course, when you do so much of good thing qualities about this water, what will happen? It definitely gives a lot of benefit for the DNA to read the information what the environment is sending to the DNA, and thereby many times wrong information which is already sent to the DNA, it's stored there. Only thing, it is not manifested into a disease. So when you are drinking this resonated water, it can go and tell the DNA that this is not the information you need to store. Please remove that and then take the right information. So thereby the DNA can change and then do not trigger a particular disease. So in epigenetics, what I notice is, and what we have been reading about and a lot of research done is, epigenetic is something wherein there are around 800 factors. Out of that, right now we are able to pick up around 120 to 150 factors are there which we can pick it up, and these are the one which actually determine if a disease has to be exhibited or not. That means it is something which tells your DNA to bring out the disease or keep the disease silent. That means good genes, if it is activated, that means everything good will happen. If the bad genes are activated, the bad genes, guys, as usual, they will start doing what their job they are supposed to. We can't blame the bad guys also, because they do their job properly. So what you need to do is, it's a balance. So by drinking this water, there are a lot of good benefits we are getting. So look into your own individual self and what way you've got the benefit. And if the benefits is beautiful, say thanks to your body, because your body is the one, without even knowing what it is. You don't even know what it is doing, but the benefits are multiple. So please support your body in whatever little ways you can, and then start working on it. So everyone should try drinking this water. And at the end of the day, if it is suitable for you to move forward, go forward. If it is not suitable, how do I say it is not suitable? Especially people with diseases, you need to be a little careful in drinking this water, because you need to start little bit first and then slowly increase it, so that your body feels that what you're doing is just like adapting. This is the best example I would give you is, if you want to put a baby to sleep, you put the baby on your shoulders, and what you do is you use your hand to just tap the baby slowly, right? What you do is you're actually pampering the baby for it to go to sleep. By tapping, what happens? Everything naturally, the baby goes to sleep. Have you ever seen anybody banging the hand on the baby to sleep? No, isn't it? Because you're actually triggering the baby not to sleep. So what happens is, you need to understand that our body also needs to adapt to situation. So how do you pamper your body? You have to pamper your body starting with a smaller, because all the while you have been drinking the normal, maybe whatever filtered water you're drinking, the body is very happy drinking, using that facility. But suddenly you're trying to put in the terahertz water inside. Definitely the properties are different, isn't it? Your body will be thinking, oh, this guy, all the while he has been drinking this water and suddenly he's pushing me this water. What should I do? Should I need to react or should I need to respond? But the moment you drink too much of water, the body will react to it. But if you're drinking little bit, our body will think, okay, fine, this guy is trying to change me, he's pampering me. So the body will try to accommodate to the new system of water what you're giving it. So always try to adapt to the situation. Now in this one important information I want to share is, especially aircon. If you're sitting in an aircon atmosphere, what you need to do is, you're supposed to switch on the aircon 30 minutes before you leave that particular room. 30 minutes it takes for your body to adapt. For example, you're in the office, now you want to leave the office at 5:30, right? You're supposed to switch off the aircon by 5 o'clock, so that the 30 minutes your body gets adapted to the normal temperature. So when you come out of your office, it's blending with the natural situation of the environment, so that your body doesn't feel the shock. But many of us, 5:30 we finish, we just rush out and then we go to the car. What happens? There's a lot of change in the environmental factors which your body doesn't know what to do. If one day you're doing it, maybe your body will say okay, but if you're doing it every day, the body also will think, why these guys is trying to. So there might be some metabolic changes which you and I don't notice. So please look into all these small issues, which is also important for you. And do not one fine day get a disease and then after that jump into a curative mode, wherein you want to cure the disease and throw it out. It doesn't happen. So what you need to do is, it's all a slow process. So start drinking, especially people with diseases, start drinking slow, little bit amount, and spread it over a period of the one day. If you're drinking 500 ml, 100 ml, 5 times you need to drink. So you split it and you make your body understand that you're doing it for the good. And always when you're drinking water, please feel the happiness within you. Be thankful to the situation. Be thankful to the water available for you. See, out there, at least if you're getting a terrace water, it's a blessing for you. There are a lot of people who don't even have a basic drinking water facility for them to even consume. Now imagine what kind of situation they will be going through with dehydration. There are so many other problems they will face. But by God's grace, you get the water. Please be thankful to it and start moving forward. Now, definitely the message I would like to give you is everything has to be in moderation. What it means is everything should be in balance. Nothing more, nothing less. So that means if your system is simple, as I told you before, if your immune system is balanced, it's not working low, it's not working high. If your immune system is working low, diseases starts coming in. If your immune system is high, hyperactive, what happens? Automatically your autoimmune diseases are the one. It will go on fighting your own body. You would have seen doctors telling you your body is trying to fight your own self. It will go on destroying everything. Autoimmune disease is something wherein it will go destroy its own self. It doesn't recognize that it is its own cell. So there are a lot of situations in the situation in our life wherein there are a lot of organisms which will come inside and create an atmosphere, camouflage themselves as though they are like your own system, and they start spreading out. So what happens is when they come inside your body, sometimes what happens is even a normal cell, it will go and kill it up. It will go clear it up. Why? It fights your own system. This is what is all about autoimmune system. So what is happening is you need to have a balance of immune system. So when you want to have a balance of immune system, what you need to do is you have to start working from the self. You are the most important person on this planet Earth. So building a very, very strong immune system plays a very, very important role in your life. And then one of the easiest way for you to build your immune system is be happy. Be happy in whatever you have. You may have a disease, so what? Be happy in that situation. So the moment you start adapting with the situation and become happier, even in a disease situation, the disease, whatever the cells are, they will think, I am actually creating all the problem for this guy, but still this guy is so happy. All the hormones, like the happy hormones like your serotonin, dopamine, all these are being released. Okay, now if all are released in the right amount, what will happen? There's a lot of healing happening in your body. If there is a lot of healing happening in your body, don't you think the diseases also can be cured? So for a disease to be cured from its whatever the origin, you all need to make your life more happy. All right, now what is the difference? There are two things I wish to convey here and close down. There are two things which normally human beings cannot differentiate. One is pleasure seeking, one is happiness seeking. If you're a pleasure seeking, it becomes an addiction. If an addiction, it's wrong. Happiness is unlimited. Happiness is infinite. So what you need to do is, are you doing a particular thing for happiness or are you doing it for pleasure? You differentiate it. But pleasure is something, it can be a transient situation where you get the pleasure, but at the end of the day, it should lead you to happiness. But happiness is something which you are contented. If you are happy, you will never ask for more pleasure. You will never. But if you are already in the pleasure mode, you will be asking for more. You want more, you want more, you want more. This is what happens when you don't differentiate between a pleasure and happiness. Happiness will improve your immune system. Whereas when you're having a pleasure, many times it will pull your immune system down, and thereby you are prone for infections. You are prone for whatever diseases. Why? Because your immune system, because you're pleasure mongering, you become an addict. So you want that pleasure. Without that pleasure, you cannot. Now, just let me tell you, there are a lot of people down there, they'll say, without eating this, I cannot live. It can be non-vegetarian or it can be anything. What they will say, without eating that, they cannot live. Without, doing a particular thing, like drinking coffee, it's an addiction. You are seeking pleasure through drinking coffee every day. At the end of the day, what has happened? It's become an addiction. But if you're a person where you can stop drinking coffee just like that, and then you can drink tea one day, you can drink a milk one day, it's up to you. You can just go with a fruit juice. Now that means your body is adapting to any damn situation in your life. But many of us are adapted to a pleasure mongering situation wherein we want that pleasure. We don't know, we forget that We are looking for happiness, but we are looking at the pleasure, and we are working at the pleasure level. So please change your system from pleasure mongering to happiness. Happiness is something which will work long run, number one. Number two, you will be very, very contented, whatever it is. Even drinking terahertz water, when you're drinking it with happiness, automatically you will feel happy. But on the other side, if you're drinking terahertz water for the pleasure of healing, for the pleasure of curing, what will happen? Your aim is you want to do something for your body, get out of the disease. But there are a lot of processes happening inside your body, which your body may not even cooperate with you just because you're drinking the water. No. So what you do is you're going to be happy drinking the water. You're going to be happy eating the food. You're going to be happy in any given situation, right? Whether corona outside, whether lockdown, no lockdown, doesn't matter. You need to create a happiness for yourself. But that doesn't mean that I have to tell you that, hey, so many people died, I'm very happy. No, sorry. In that situation, of course, it's for you, it may be happiness, but for the family, it will be a very, very sad situation. But what we need to do is, if a person is affected by corona, what you need to do is, one, you can pray for them, send a lot of love vibration to them, number one. Number two, if there is any financial help you want to help that particular person, please do it. This is how we all need to live in empathy. Now, empathy improves your immune system. See, once again, so beautiful. Empathy improves immune system. So you should have more of empathy than sympathy. If you have a lot of sympathy, it is good, but many times sympathy will automatically bring your immune system down, because many times in sympathy you do a particular thing because with expectation. For example, there is a person, you want to give 10 ringgits. You are going to give 10 ringgits in sympathy. What will happen is you will see what this guy will do with 10 ringgit. Now this guy will go to an alcohol shop, buy a liquor, and then drink it up. Now you think you are happy? You will not be happy because you have given in sympathy. But at the same time, when you are giving in empathy, you won't even bother to see that person, what is he doing with the 10 ringgits what you gave. It's none of our business. You gave it, that's his journey. Whether he's going to use it for alcohol, whether he's going to use for food or that is his problem. But your job is to give it and leave it. So in that way, start having a lot of empathy. Living in joy and happiness is a very, very important situation in this present pandemic, wherein you and I, we are bombarded with a lot of unfavorable news. Unfavorable virus has been spreading like no man's business. 8,000 plus in Malaysia. What you and I can do? The only thing you and I can do is prevent as much as exposure outside, be inside. But how long? We do not know. But if you can get the little food, little water to drink in your own home, staying inside, please be thankful for it. And worst come worst, the more you are living in gratitude, you will get what you want. Someone will come and help you. Even though you are not working, someone will come and help you. So saying this, I wish to take leave and have a fantastic, peaceful week ahead, and looking forward to meet you once again. There is a little bit of immune system which I have not explained you, which I would be like to doing it in my part 3. And until then, have a fantastic, joyful, happy weekend, and then move forward, and bless you all with abundance, and see you once again. Thank you very much. Angie?